We give you the facts, it's not what you think. Popeye Newsling, Young King, 1 yard, bless.
Good morning, Popeye. Grandma watch Popeyes every morning and every night.
What am I think? What am I think? You're listening to Popeye News Links. This is the Admiral Tibet who I represent, and remember, the time is so serious, cantankerous and dangerous. This is Popeye News Links.
People of Center, St. Mary and surrounding.
Yeah, watch Popeyes, mama.
Here is
Where I watch?
Popeye.
are you on exactly? If you are,
Greetings viewers and subscribers. Mama Queen, you are 89 years old today. Your children, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren, and the rest of the family and friends, they are asking us to wish you a happy birthday today. Let's hope that today the entire family are going to be ensuring that you have a wonderful birthday and may you live to see lots more. In the news today, early yesterday morning, Sunday, August 10, about 6:30, a team of JDF soldiers were on duty at the Zozo checkpoint at the intersection of the Paradise Main Road and Seaview Drive in the Norwood area of St. James when someone went there to the soldiers. The person told the soldiers that he or she was walking along a dirt track in the Norwood community when he or she found a gun. The gun was handed over to the soldiers and it was found to be a Glock 26 9mm pistol with the serial number intact. It was affixed with a magazine containing 10 9mm rounds. The police, they were called and the gun was handed over to the police. You good citizen, job well done. This one, it took place yesterday afternoon. Sunday, August 10, about 3 o'clock. It took place at a mini-mart on King Street in Montego Bay in the parish of St. James. Our information is that the Chinese operator for the mini-mart was inside when two hoodlums walked in and posed as customers. One of the hoodlums then pulled a gun and proceeded to rob the Chinese businesswoman of 80,000 Jamaican dollars in cash from the cash register. The hoodlums, they then made good their escape on foot towards Upper King Street. Just like that. This one, it took place early yesterday morning. Sunday, August 5, about 2:30. It took place at the staff entrance at the Dreams Hotel. That hotel is formerly known as Hilton Rosal Hotel. That's along the Rosal Main Road in the parish of St. James. Our information is that a 29-year-old guy, he was driving a white 2017 Mercedes-Benz motor car. He was traveling from the direction of Montego Bay towards Lilliput on the eastbound side of the dual carriageway. In the car with him was a 29-year-old pump attendant named Georgina Bogle, or is it Georgina? She's from Discovery Bay in Senton. Now, from all indication, the 29-year-old driver did a burn-up road. Him did a skate. On reaching a section of the roadway for reasons unknown, the Benz, it exited the roadway and it went on to the elevated median. It then collided into a utility pole. The vehicle, it continued onto the westbound side of the dual carriageway where it overturned. It then slid and rolled over into a ditch. It also collided into a palm tree, breaking down the palm tree. If you look on your screen, that is what is left of the Mercedes-Benz. During the time the car was rolling, Georgina, she was thrown from the car through the moonroof. Her forehead hit the frame of the moonroof, causing serious injuries. Georgina, she died as a result. The driver was taken to hospital where he was treated and admitted in a serious condition. Sad indeed. This one, it took place early this morning. Monday, August 11, about minutes to 1 o'clock. It took place in the vicinity of Wisinko along the Lakespen Main Road in the Portmore area of St. Catherine. Our information is that gunshots were heard being fired in the area. When the smoke was clear and persons went and made checks, a guy who was later identified as Romaine Mason. Romaine is said to be in his mid-20s. Romaine was dressed in a white t-shirt, red shorts, red underpants, and a pair of black slippers. Romaine's lifeless body was seen lying on his back in a pool of blood. The police, they were called, and when they inspected Romaine, he had received gunshot wounds to his head and his upper body. He died on the spot. We are told that when the police processed this crime scene, 3 9mm spent shells were recovered from the scene. The mayhem. So let me ask you something. Let me ask you something. Have you hit on the love button as yet? If you have not yet done so, remember to hit on it. Also, if you are over here watching our videos and you have not yet subscribed, hit on the subscribe button as also. Hit on the notification bell. Then click all so that whenever we drop a new video, you'll be one of the first to be notified. In the final reports for today, now, at the end of this report, I'm going to be playing you a conversation I had with one of these hoodlums I'm going to be telling you about. But first, yesterday, I dropped the exclusive details as to what led up to the shooting of Detective Constable Morgan, his common law wife, and their 5-year-old son. There is the common law wife and their son on your screen. Her name is Latoya Crystal Stephenson. Last month on July 3, Latoya, she celebrated her 36th birthday. Latoya is from the parish of St. Anne and she is a past student of the Arbuthnot Gallimore High School in St. Anne. Latoya, she was employed as a human resource manager and she lived in the Montego Bay area of St. James. The son's name is Zamir Nathaniel Morgan. Later this year, on October 15, he will be celebrating his 6th birthday. Like I told you yesterday, Zamir, his mom Latoya, and his dad Detective Morgan, they were shot Saturday night near to a club at Reid in St. James. They had gone there to collect the keys for a vehicle that female on your screen was supposed to import for one of Detective Morgan's family member. She was paid 2.5 million Jamaican dollars to import the vehicle. That female's name is Trafficia Rose Malcolm. On May 20 earlier this year, Trafficia, she celebrated her 38th birthday. She's from the hills of Westmoreland, but she was living at Catherine Hall in Montego Bay in the parish of St. James. Now, we are learning that Trafficia, she used to work at a call center in Montego Bay. In fact, Latoya and Trafficia, they were once co-workers. Trafficia, she quit that job and she decided to start a security company, but she didn't reach anywhere with it because starting up a security company in Jamaica was harder than she initially thought. Trafficia, she went on to work at a guest house in Montego Bay, but all this time, Trafficia, she was dabbling in the scamming business. She was chopping the line. Trafficia, she then started importing stuffs from overseas, cell phones, laptops, and other gadgets. Trafficia, she started importing cars from Japan, and our information is that Trafficia, she carried in a few motor vehicles, but Trafficia, she was biting off more than she could chew. She was living too big, so Trafficia, she was always in money problem. This policeman wasn't the only person who Trafficia took money from and did not deliver the motor vehicle. So the question is, was this the first person Trafficia put a hit on? Because this would definitely not be the last. And you know what the sad thing is? If This policeman, Detective Morgan, was killed. Trafficia, she would be helping to push the narrative that the policeman was mixed up and he was killed by his cronies because, guess what? Before Saturday night, Trafficia, she was very active on social media. She was making comments on different news pages. Late Saturday night, Trafficia, she deleted all her social media pages. Like I said yesterday, Trafficia, she has since packed up and left Catherine Hall in her 2017 grey Honda Fit motor car. We are learning that yesterday. Trafficia, she contacted a close family member and she told that family member that if the worst should happen, they should burn her body and keep the ashes. Are you following me? Now, Trafficia, take my advice. Go give up yourself and come clean with the police. So the allegation is that Trafficia, she contracted members of the Haughton Lane Defense Force gang, or KDF for short, to carry out this hit. In Trafficia's mind, it was easier to pay about 300,000 Jamaican dollars than to return the 2.5 million Jamaican dollars. It is alleged that that guy was one of the hoodlums who carried out the hit. His name is, but he's also known as Naldo or Romario. Romario is said to be one of the top shotters in the KDF gang. So the Jamaica Constabulary Force, they have now decided to take the fight to the members of the KDF. They have now decided that they are going to be finding them anywhere them there. And if them decide to take on the long arm of the law and decide not to go in peacefully, dirt. At minutes after 12:30 early this morning, Monday, August 11, a team of police officers, they went to Mafuta district in St. James in search of one of the KDF gang top shotters. His name is Lindel George Gray, but he was also known as Frass. Frass was 33 years old. We are told that Frass, he was out on bail for murder. The police, they are alleging that they were on a dirt track when they saw a guy who later turned out to be Frass coming from behind a banana tree with a gun in one of his hands. Frass is alleged to have opened gunfire at the police, and the police, they returned the fire, and it was all over. Frass, he was hit, and the police, they are saying that Frass, he fell clutching a Mach 11 9mm submachine gun with the serial number intact. It was affixed with a magazine containing 4 9mm rounds. Frass, he died on the spot. That guy on your screen, his name is Reid, but he was popularly known as Little Zulus. And now Little Zulus a kill people. Little Zul, he was a top gangster, and although he was living in Kingston for the past 3 years, he was responsible for several contract killings taking place in and around the parish of St. James. Little Zul, he was shot and killed in an alleged shootout with the police this morning, Monday, August 11, about 5:30. This took place along the Shooters Hill main road in Kingston. The police, they are alleging that Little Zul, he died clutching an AK-47 rifle. Now, let me give you a brief history about Little Zul before I play a conversation I had with him in December 2022. On the early morning of Wednesday, December 11, 2013, Little Zul and two of his cronies, they invaded a house at Hibiscus Avenue in the Norwood area of Montego Bay. They went there looking for a 30-year-old guy named Shane Anglin. They killed Shane, but they also ended up killing those two sisters on your screen. They were at the house. The one that is standing is Natasha Palmer. She was 20 years old at the time. And the other one is Nicolette Palmer. She was 27 years old at the time. It is said that Natasha, she was living in another parish, but because she got a job in Montego Bay, she was living with her sister in Norwood. Natasha, she normally go home on her day offs. About 1 hour later, Little Zul and his 2 cronies, they went to North Gully in Montego Bay. They invaded another house and opened gunfire at the occupants. When the shooting subsided, another 3 persons were shot and killed as a result of that attack. Romario Haughton, he was 19 years old. A lady in her 30s and a man named Keith Graham, but he was popularly known as Banga. Banga was said to be in his late 30s. All 3 of them were shot and killed. The police, they commenced investigations, and based on eyewitnesses' statements, the 3 killers were identified. There were 1, Ryland Brown, but he was popularly known as Ryland Mighty or Kirky. 2, Sanja Holness, he was also known as Crime. And 3, Andre Reid, also known as Little Zulus or Little Zul. He was 19 years old at the time and he lived at North Gully in Montego Bay. All 3 hoodlums were listed on the St. James Police Most Wanted list. The police, they later held Little Zul and they charged him for the 6 murders. Little Zul, he eventually bust the case because the eyewitnesses who had given statements and pointed him out on identification parades as one of the hoodlums in both incidents, they did not go to court to give evidence against him. As a result, Little Zul, he was released from police custody. When he was released, Little Zul, he continued with a life of crime, and the police, they described Little Zul as a cold-hearted contract killer. Little Zul, he would take money to go anywhere to take out his target. Little Zul was also involved in extortion. Chinese business people in and around Montego Bay were his main targets. On the early morning of Saturday, November 30, 2019, about some minutes to 2 o'clock, Little Zul and one of his cronies, they shot and killed a guy at Moore Park in the Adelphi police area of St. James. His name is Leon Anthony Whittacker. He was 35 years old at the time and he lived at Moore Park. Leon, he was found in bushes adjacent to the roadway with gunshot wounds to his head. This was a contract killing that was said to be sanctioned by a top scammer in the area. Little Zul and a hoodlum named Toussaint Lewis, also known as Dada, from Mount Salem in St. James, they were identified as the killers. The police, they carried out several raids to hold them, but they managed to evade the police. On Friday morning, September 11, 2020, about some minutes to 11 o'clock, a guy named Renor Anderson, he was 24 years old at the time and he lived at Catherine Hall in Montego Bay. Renor, he was sitting along the roadway right across from Megamart. He was watching over a friend's stall when he was approached by Little Zul. Little Zul, he ordered a cigarette and Renor, he was getting up to get the cigarette. Little Zul, he pulled a gun and opened gunfire, hitting Renor to his head and his right shoulder. A team of police officers attached to the Freeport police station, they were passing and they heard the gunshots. It is said that the police officers, they looked into the direction where the gunshots were being fired and they saw Little Zul standing over Renor with a gun in one of his hands. Little Zul, he ran off and he jumped into a grey Nissan Note motor car. The car then sped off in the direction of Westgate. The police chased the Nissan Note and the hoodlums in the car. They opened gunfire at the police. The police, they returned the fire. As a result, the Nissan Note, it crashed into a parked vehicle. 4 hoodlums jumped out of the car and they ran off in separate directions. All this time, they were still firing at the police. The police, they jumped out of the police vehicle and chased them. 2 of the hoodlums escaped, but the police, they managed to capture two of them. One was Toussaint Lewis, also known as Dada, and the other one was Andre Reid, also known as Zulus. They were both shot. Dada, he had received a gunshot wound to his right leg, and Zulus, he was shot in his abdomen. The police, they also recovered from both of them 2 9mm pistols. They were rushed to the Cornwall Regional Hospital where they were treated and admitted. Renor, who was shot by Zulus, he died on the spot. So Zulus and Dada, they were slapped with all kinds of charges: murder, shooting, illegal possession of firearm, you name it. Zulus, he was in custody and he had been appearing at the St. James Circuit Court on several occasions since 2020 when he was taken into police custody. His lawyers kept applying for bail for him, but the bail application was rejected. But in early 2022, his lawyers took the bail application to a judge in chamber at the Home Circuit Court in Kingston. The judge in chamber granted Zulus bail. He was offered bail in the sum of 500,000 Jamaican dollars with 1 or 2 sureties. The judge in chamber also placed some strict reporting conditions. The judge told Zulus that when he picked up his bail, he is not to go back to Montego Bay unless he's going to court. Zulus, he gave the judge an address that he would be living in Kingston with a family member, and that family member was the one who was gonna bail him. The judge told Zulus that he should not leave his house unless it was to go to the hospital or court, and that he should report to the Kingston Central Police Station between 8 o'clock in the morning and 6 o'clock in the evening from Mondays to Fridays. In the latter part of 2022, Zulus, he was supposed to go back to court, but for some reason he did not attend. A bench warrant was issued for Zulus. I did a video and I read out his file. So Zulus, he decided to call and clarify a few things. Listen this.
Yeah.
Too much money now and do my surgery, dog. I told me not fit to go Mobay while I reach a court. I'm the lawyer office, them go for the Zoom.
Yeah, I said, I'm going to talk about the bail part. What happened Tuesday? Come on, me a record you. Tell me what happened Tuesday.
I said, I go to court.
Yeah. You get bail and you go to court Tuesday.
Yeah.
And what happened?
So I'm sick. I can't walk. I can't slug in a car for drive go so far all the way for wish I'm here for go court. Is it?
Yeah.
So I go to my lawyer office, dog.
In a Kingston?
Yeah, the lawyer them know and see my lawyer them contact me on the phone.
Yeah.
The judge know that better than send police a wrong address, That's why I get back my bail and them things.
So hold on there. Alright, so you're gonna go to court Tuesday, but the lawyer tell
them did it.
The lawyer they are court.
The police themselves send a wrong address.
So the address, hold on. So the address where the police them would have for you, and the address where you get the police them, and that's where them.
And that's where them come. You see?
Okay.
So then go back, but tell lie, or the Mobay police them just tell lie. Which 2 days after that or 1 day after that, the man them, the police them know the attack to my lawyer, brother, look to see what the flag and things are quote in a observer, like Joe thing that my father. And lie, police tell for when police start with 6 counts of murder, you know. A expert do signature and the police sign statement for me, you know, my father.
Yeah.
And the case people got trial in and people who much years people still a lavish my name with that. Right now, all of my family and everything in my father. They're like a joke thing in general. You hear me say, but do sit to my father. I that thing where me not mind my father, but me there so can walk. I'm just around six brother with my name my father. Or my name people.
So let me say, so what you go back to court? You go back to court Thursday. And then
yeah, my lawyer bring in back the thing in a court Thursday.
Thursday
and clear up back my name. You see?
And you get back your bail?
Yeah, I go back to court next year, dog.
Okay.
Yeah, dog. I like if I want you put out one thing, my father, man, I make them know some man, not like that, man. Georgina, run where go now, man, there, Papa is dog.
Because since me hear about this, me make 2 calls and me realize you go back to court and they're not even new bail, they just send you back on the same bail where you're depend.
Just send me back for the new, for the said bail, my father, you hear that?
Yeah.
One thing that Mariah in a dog. Some Mariah in a town in a dog. You see?
Yeah.
Big man thing dog. I'm not depend on joking. My father, police shot me up and my foot, me can't even run good in a dog.
Yeah.
But what kind of badness me say a prayer, I run up and down dog. I can't manage them things, Papa. I'm not telling my father.
Yeah.
You know what that is.
I mean, you put down one whole heap of weight too.
Yeah, Mr. Papa.
How you say? We know what the thing is about.
I'm going to put on a man, same look man.
No, sir, you're not looking man.
So I'm saying this man when him. They don't know him, Papa.
Well, yeah, we have a link.
Yo, if you get to the man, I make the man know what I go on, my father, man, clear up the thing I go on and the thing from my father, man.
Because you don't want it. You don't want it. You have to go back and court.
I wanted my father, dog.
What the court say if you do, you do it. Yeah, report upon your condition.
Yeah, I follow the court protocol, Because I know I say I mix up the court protocol. That's for me and them in a problem, my father. I don't need to do that, dog.
Yeah.
I forget the daddy. About a 6 foot. Hear me as the Papa.
Yes.
It's a police charge of them.
Yes.
I had behind bars.
Yes.
You have a right to get the L treatment. You have to get like any other man. You could have killed 40,000 man, dog. Man, I still me human being. So me behind bars, dog. I walk. Me can't walk. For 1 year, me behind bars, dog.
Oh, you could. Oh,
1 year before me do my surgery, and all when doctor then tell her doctor to change all them more better to suffer me a jail, Papa.
Yeah.
You think that, dog?
So how long you do surgery?
Couple weeks, so me do the surgery, bigger one.
Okay.
Police, look how you may ask them, general.
Yeah.
The police them don't know what they do me already, you know, dog. Then cut my foot, and me there hold it, dog, and the man them still do me this a Papa is like don't think this am father. Police don't really for the case, me.
Yeah.
Because the man them know a joking, dog.
Yeah.
The man them know I set them a try set me up and style me, daddy. Big man thing, but 2 man are dead, dog. But what another dog, the man them to start deal to get to you, my father.
Yeah.
You understand? The judge charge me, I got a court, dog. That's long when me deal with the judge, me and the judge deal with it. Me no mind it, me no fear the judge in the dog. Every time, if me was such a somebody where them a talk about, as we hear them a pain to the information, them.
Yes.
What time they charge me? Me never got prison. They don't feel like say me was a innocent, was a guilty man. They would have done fine witness and evidence. What kind of call me can call and run on witness? Papa is wicked man and me and Jamaica there and can't do that.
Yeah.
Papa is just paper thing from my father, man. God know.
Yeah.
Check out my general.
Yeah.
Big man thing, dog.
Yeah.
My father, I'm going to quote my father.
But hear me now. Because there's some people are commenting and say, boy, I got that money run why judge give bail. Why you say?
Like that, my father.
How the part they go? Because me understand say you couldn't work and the judge do it.
Supreme Court, me get bail, daddy, based upon my doctor thing or my sickness, dog. You hear that? So me can't walk, dog. Me can't walk, brother, and there's no way me could have do surgery and go back in a jailhouse. A jailhouse let me have to do over our next surgery.
Yeah.
Master, dog.
Yeah.
Big man thing, dog.
Yeah.
Me can't, brother, me can't be a jailhouse what they in a Papa.
Yeah.
Me can't be a one thing what they me do my surgery. Doctor say one thing left in my foot I carry blood in the dog, and one little school so in the pin them in the catch up my foot, you know. Yeah, man, a human being, brother. The man them no fair deal with man for that. Much man there road I do things I mean I hear nobody a call name and the police them now. Man Lego man even go man even my brother man even want Mobay dog. A court alone go make man Mobay dog. And the man them a deal with man for my you. The man them no say a deal with man for that. Me no go nowhere me there up on the ground daddy. Police them know that me no want it brother. The police them know he said they me go down high station. He said they me see.
But you said the police they know, you know, but enough police me link and them a say warrant out the feel same way, you know, so them no know.
No, them don't know that my father. You know how much police gon check my day, Papa is over chief and load of police gon check my day.
Yeah.
When I saw it thing clear, because they have to send video I'm going to court out and system media in the yard, is it?
Yeah.
But when I ask them, my father, that's the thing they know. Them clear up in the courthouse, but yet still, you see them a thing I want to put out in a police head go feel like say you're rare, and then them themselves come out, they know that the police them know say you're rare. Them gonna follow them thing the Papa is, man, because Papa, what kind of man actually even know my father? What kind of you fall like it's a man where you know the thing long time, man, you know man a road dog. Yeah. Papa. Yeah. I'm telling man, Mr. G, man, I'm not fighting no 50 minutes that. Everybody have to live in a journey. All we have to do, we have to do. You hear that? I do a burn out a blogger yet in that. I don't have to do nothing on the work. You know, but what's on the Papa is? Yeah. You have roots, man, where you know, so it's a 30 youth, daddy, man. Yeah. 30 youth, a roots, brother, man. But
Zulus, at the end of the day, you know, for me, I hear about you, I hear about nothing good, you know.
Hey, Papa.
Then may I tell you? That may I tell you?
Papa, alright, let me tell you, Papa. That's why I know a system I do me.
Yeah.
People are Papa, system in a Papa. Can you see me?
Yeah.
I want if I pick me all people, everybody Papa. This one not really no badness. I mean, we don't live in no badness. We don't live in no rare father.
Yeah.
People don't look for a man some G. People don't see man some G, Papa.
Yeah.
The police just a paint picture for a man every time.
Yeah.
You don't need to make up a story, my father, man.
Blessed love, everybody.
From the hills to the town, we bring the link. Straight facts, no mix up, no gimmick, no wing. You tune in now, get the real insight. Cause Papa News Link lights in our
Papa News Link, yeah, we tell it how it is. Jamaican vice, truth in all the biz. Click it, share it, every little click count. News with the vibes, and that we announce.
No gimmick, no way. You tune in now, get the real insight. Cause Papa News Link lighting up the ring.
Papa News Link, yeah, we tell it how it is. Jamaican voice, truth in all the days. Click it, share it, every little click count. News with the vibes, and that we are on. Papa News Link, yeah, we tell it how it is. Jamaican voice, truth in all the days. Click it, share it, every little click count. News with the vibes, and that we are on.
It's let me be, she a command out them and it Johnny, you damn catch a fire me feel rated. Inna the race the prop and no fate. Try me bleak when me coming on me cross silence. From me used to the